Hi, I'm Peter Haddock and I'm here with Ian Pennington. He's the European Sales Manager for Trimble Geospatial. And Ian, you've joined me today on the Sunbelt Rentals stand at GeoBusiness because there's some very, very big news that I know you've been working on for a long, long time. And this project is putting you and Sunbelt Rentals together.
Correct.
So tell me all about what the deal is that you've done with Sunbelt Rentals and why it's significant to Trimble as a business in the UK.
Okay, so first of all, we're absolutely delighted that Trimble has decided to partner with Sunbelt Rentals here in the UK. We recognise that the shift in the business towards certainly the construction sector, where people are wanting to rent solutions a lot more, and that Sunbelt now is the largest rental provider in the United Kingdom, and that by having the complete portfolio of Trimble solutions available for hire, I think it's a great move for both parties. It really helps us to address that specialist vertical of rental sector.
I think what's really interesting as well, we were talking about it earlier, Ian, is it's the strength and depth of the Sunbelt Rentals business. They're touching people in all different areas and different levels of the industry, whether it's setting up the sites, whether it's going to net zero. They're doing a lot of different work with all sorts of different people. So what it is it's an enabler for people to come into the machine control and surveying industry with confidence, isn't it? Because you're able to rent out your equipment through Sunbelt Rentals to people that might be scared to come into that market or might think, actually, we just need some extra help on this particular project. And that's really why it's important, the rental business, isn't it?
It is indeed. So Trimble is all about taking that physical data into digital transformation. And as you say, the agreement with Sunbelt includes machine control, and it includes the geospatial, the off-machine portfolio as well. We are very excited about this. I think one thing that's attracted us very much to Sunbelt and been really impressed is that they have the bandwidth to be able to properly support the Trimble portfolio of products. From the survey perspective, they have domain knowledge, so they have a very skilled team that can support the product. So that was highly important to us in our decision-making process. We always wanted to partner with a rental provider to give Trimble that exposure in the rental sector, but it had to be the right company. And Sunbelt today, I just believe that they are the right company to do this. I think they're standing in the British market, their penetration into the construction sector, and their customer base is highly attractive to Trimble. And I think what we bring along here is we bring some cutting edge technology from Trimble and make it now available to their customers for rent.
And I think what's really interesting here is we're talking now, Ian, about a connected worksite approach.
Correct.
So we're saying that people there might be a surveyor that's a standalone individual over here. Then there's somebody that's wanting machine control. And it's all about the gap in the middle. It's about putting that together to make sure that everybody can work together to connect a worksite using the technology so that we can feed data in, create the models, feed that into the machines can talk back to us, and then we can have an as-built model to show customers. And it's about getting it right first time, isn't it? If we are going to do things better, if we're going to reduce carbon, if we're going to improve outcomes, we've got to make sure that the skill sets are there, and we've got to make sure that people can know that they've got access to the equipment in short notice as well, because the industry's booming at the moment.
Absolutely. And this was a critical factor in the decision-making process. Customers now who want to rent Trimble solutions, whether it be off machine or on machine, can contact their local Sunbelt depot, and given the network and the high domain knowledge and the technical support aspect that is available, they can have the equipment pretty much available straight away. So I mean, that is key in this industry. So
You're absolutely right, and I think it's a skill set, Ian, that we talk about, because a lot of people new to this, they think it's quite scary. 3D models, oh my God, everything can go wrong, but it's actually the way in which we're transitioning. We've seen that machine control has been mandated with the likes of national highways, HS2 and things like that, and it really is not not just about the equipment, because you're a platform solution provider. So in the cloud, everything is held, data comes in, data comes out, data is manipulated. But also, for me, when you're on site, if something does go wrong, or you don't know what button to press, or you're new to the Trimble system because it's just been put into a machine, or you've even hired a Sunbelt machine that's Trimble enabled, it's that support, isn't it? And I know you're working really hard with the team to continually support them with training and therefore allowing them to support the customer on a daily basis to sort of dial in remotely to the Trimble systems as well, isn't it?
100%. I think that one of the critical things here for us was to make sure that Sunbelt Rentals, when they're providing Trimble solutions to their customers, the customer can be absolutely assured that the equipment is fully calibrated, it is in fully working order, and that they can support them through the whole process. So Sunbelt are now trained and service capable. They have the expertise for the whole technical support process, so they can help train customers who perhaps have never used Trimble products before.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can demonstrate them, they can teach them how to use them and support them as well. I think another thing which is really important as a part of the agreement is that Sunbelt have service capability, so that the Trimble solutions, that once they're off hired, so once the customer's finished with the product and it comes back into the Sunbelt business, it will be properly recycled and recalibrated, ready to go on to the next hire customer.
And that's something actually, folks, I didn't even think about, Ian. That's correct, because you've got something coming back in off a machine, or you've got the surveying equipment that we've seen, total stations, rovers, etc. And that calibration process of getting it right is critical, isn't it? Because we want to get the millimetre of accuracy on sites and the accuracy of the surveys that make a massive difference. If you're just a few millimetres out, that could be a lot of gravel that you've got to put in to that ditch or whatever, and that's all cost and that's all time. And so that calibration to then go out again is really critical. So I didn't quite realise that. But there's nothing better, Ian, than seeing new equipment on site, isn't there? And I think the rental offering allows you to take brand new equipment, new solutions that they're showing here today from Trimble, and get them into the marketplace as well. And rental's always been a seeding process, isn't it? So that you can allow people to go, hey, I can rent this, I can see how I get on with it, and then maybe I'll convert the rest of my fleet to Trimble. Maybe I'll do it on a higher basis for a longer period of time as well. So it's options, isn't it, for people?
It's a very good point, Peter, that you make. You've always got that option to actually try before you buy by renting the equipment. But I think more so now, the whole sort of capex versus opex is a different, because the way that the construction sector now is working, where they're working to sort of reduce their costs. Renting equipment actually works better for them rather than an initial capex outlay, because then they don't have to concern themselves with the aftermarket care and the service side of it. So, but it's pros and cons. That what we're trying to do here with the agreement with Sunbelt Rentals is make Trimble solutions more readily available to a wider audience of customers that previously perhaps wouldn't even consider Trimble. And we're very excited, and this decision and this process is something that we really buy into it. Sunbelt have really committed to the Trimble brand, and we're sure this is going to be a huge success moving forward.
Well, Ian's been working on this tirelessly for some time now, Ian. It's great that you've come down especially to talk to me today.
Welcome.
It is very big news for the industry. It's very big news just for everybody that wants to say, hey, I need to actually get involved in this, but I don't want to necessarily make all of that upfront cost if I don't know it works for me. So the rental solutions there, the longer term rental solutions there, the Trimble products are there, and they're all going to be looked after and have the technical support that goes with it. So a great story here today at Geo Business. Thanks very much for popping down to talk to me, Ian. Great to see you.
Thank you.